Good morning. Today we are taking up Summary of Pygmalion by G.B. Shaw. I have tried to incorporate as many details in this summary as possible. So without wasting any further time, let us begin. In London's Covent Garden, on one summer evening, while it is raining, a group of assorted people they gather under the portico of St. Paul's Church. Mrs. Elenis Ford Hill, along with her daughter Clara, is waiting for her son, whose name is Freddie, whom they have sent to get a cab. He returns, but without any cab, and he is sent again. But while he is leaving, he accidentally collides with a young flower girl who has a thick Cockney accent. And her flowers, many of them are ruined due to this collision. As they bicker, we find that she addresses the boy Freddie, and the curiosity of his mother is piqued. And when the son leaves, she goes to this flower girl and asks, how does she know him? And then, to her utter amazement, and discovers that she addresses nearly everyone, either Freddie or Charlie. Soon, an elderly gentleman enters the shelter, and looking at his appearance, this flower girl tries to force him, coax him in buying flowers. The gentleman named Colonel Pickering offers her money, but he does not buy flowers. Then the people around her, they dissuade her from taking money, and they draw her attention towards a person who is taking notes very quietly. It turns out that he is a professor of phonetics who can easily place the person one belongs to just by identifying the accent. And then we come to know about him, where he says that he can transform this flower girl into a duchess in 3 months. This Colonel Pickling is an author of a book in Sanskrit and happens to be a linguist of Indian dialect. And he's supposed to be visiting this place to meet Henry Higgins, the professor and the expert in phonetics. So, since they both meet here, then they go away discussing phonetics. Then the next day, Pickering and Higgins are seen discussing when the housekeeper announces the visit of a flower girl. Then this girl comes in, and she asks the professor to tutor her so that she can improve herself and get a position in a flower shop. Pickering makes a wager And in good spirit, Higgins also takes up that bet. And it was the previous thing that he had said that he can transform this flower girl into a duchess in few months. So this is the bet, and then he orders the housekeeper to take the girl away and wash her and burn her old clothes. This flower girl objects, but no heed is paid to her objections, and then she is taken away. Then we find that her father makes an appearance with the intention of blackmailing. But we find that he is intimidated by Higgins and ends up asking for £5. Higgins quickly gives him the money and gets rid of him. But he is amused at his audacity as well as his views on morality. But while the flower girl's father is leaving, the girl makes an entry after being washed and dressed in new clothes. So on his way, he happens to meet her, but then he fails to recognize her own daughter, because now she's clean and looking very pretty. Then the training begins. He's a hard taskmaster, but still, Higgins trains her to speak properly for months. Then we find that the two trials they follow. The first occurs at Higgins's mother's house, where Eliza, the name of the flower girl, is introduced, where already Illinois Ford Hill, madam, is there, his son, and they are already attending Higgins's mother's a little bit of get together. Freddie feels attracted towards Eliza, but we find that Mrs. Higgins is worried that once this experiment ends, then this would lead to problems for the flower girl, to which no attention is being paid by the two gentlemen. Then a second trial takes place at an ambassador's party, and then we find that it is met with success. The wager is won, and both the gentlemen are not only happy but appears to be saying that they have become very bored with the project and now they want to move on. Now, this little bit of conversation causes Eliza great pain and distress. Then the next morning, we find that the Higgins goes to his mother in a panic mode, and he is unable to find Liza. Liza's father also follows him now, who has also become a rich man because of the trust of a deceased millionaire relative. Then Mrs. Higgins scolds the two gentlemen for playing with the affection of the little girl. She brings Eliza, whom she was hiding, and then Eliza thanks Higgins for always treating her like a lady, but threatens Higgins that she will go and work with his rival. And here we find that there is a new found confidence in this girl. There is boldness and audacity, and Higgins also admires her, this new strong version. But towards the end, we find that he orders her a few errands, believing she would carry them out and return to him, even though she threatens to not to do so. But then she mentions Freddie and her, and then she leaves for her father's wedding. So, this is the story in general. We'll be soon taking up characters so that it becomes more clear to you. But this is all for today. Thank you.